Oh, this is going to be good.
It is all about To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. And
Looking forward to this one.
me too. I love this book. So
That's a classic.
yeah, it's a classic for a reason. And we're just going to be using the book as our source today.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
We're going to be exploring the world of Macomb, Alabama.
Wonderful.
Through the eyes of Scout Finch.
Yeah.
This young girl who's growing up during the Depression era. So
Oh, yeah.
you're going to meet some quirky characters.
Oh, yeah. There's a very gripping legal drama in this book.
A legal drama and
Really is gripping.
yeah.
Yeah. And there's
Some uncomfortable truths.
some uncomfortable truths about racial injustice
No.
in the American South.
Absolutely.
So
Front and center. Some tough issues.
it's a really good look, I think, at, using Scout's innocent perspective.
Yeah. To kind of expose.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
The way she does that.
Like you said before we started recording, it's like kids see the world
Yeah.
with a clarity that adults just lose along the way.
They haven't developed the filters yet.
Right.
They haven't developed all the biases.
Yeah, they're not jaded yet.
Yeah. They just see things for what they are,
Exactly.
which can be really refreshing.
Yes.
And also kind of jarring for the adults around them.
Totally.
Like, can't you see that you're not supposed to say that?
Right.
Yeah.
Don't point that out. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
But before we get to Scout,
Okay.
I kind of want to set the stage a little bit with Macomb, Alabama.
Okay.
Like you said, it's this sleepy southern town
Yeah.
that serves as the backdrop for the story.
It moves at its own pace.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost like the lazy currents of a river.
Yeah. Time just kind of drifts by.
It does.
Sit on the porches,
Mm-hmm.
sip sweet tea,
Yeah.
know everybody's business.
Yep.
Not a whole lot going on.
Yeah.
But the town itself has a very interesting story.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
It wasn't always situated
Mm-hmm.
where it is now.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So imagine, if you will,
Mm.
Macomb smack dab in the middle of a swamp.
Oh.
Not exactly the idyllic southern town
Yeah. No. Not at all.
that we kind of picture in our minds.
Not so charming.
Not so charming,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But
Okay.
thanks to a very clever tavern owner named Sinkfield,
Uh-huh.
things took a turn.
Oh.
Apparently, he plied the surveyors with a little too much southern hospitality,
Okay.
shall we say,
Right.
and convinced them to adjust
Interesting.
the county lines.
Oh.
Just a little bit.
Rig the
A
system.
little nudge here, a little nudge there,
Yeah.
to put his tavern at the heart of the town.
Oh, that's pretty smart.
Talk about entrepreneurial spirit.
Right.
I mean,
So the town square is the epicenter
absolutely.
of Macomb life.
Yeah, the square is like a microcosm
Okay.
of Macomb's social structure.
All right.
It's where everybody congregates,
Mm-hmm.
gossiping,
Yeah.
trading news,
Mm-hmm.
reinforcing those invisible lines that divide folks
Right.
based on family, social standing,
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately race.
Yeah. So let's talk about one of those families then.
Okay.
The Finches.
Right.
We've got Atticus,
Yeah.
the morally upright lawyer,
Mhm.
single father,
Yeah.
to Scout and Jem.
Uh-huh.
What struck you about him?
Atticus is more than just a lawyer.
Oh,
He's
right.
like the moral compass of the story.
Right.
Lee really emphasizes this from the start.
Uh-huh.
He did you know that
Right.
like even in his early days as a lawyer,
Yeah.
he actually urged his first two clients to accept a plea deal.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He knew they were headed for a death sentence
Mhm.
if they went to trial, but they refused.
Oh my gosh. Talk about integrity.
Yeah.
But I bet that stubborn streak runs in the family, though,
Oh yeah, I think so.
when you think about Scout.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Scout is
Our narrator.
full of questions, and I love that she was already reading
Yeah.
before she even set foot in a classroom.
Oh, yeah. Way ahead of the game.
And
Yeah.
and it leads to some really funny
Yeah.
clashes with the school system.
For sure. Yeah.
She's correcting the teacher and questioning the curriculum.
Yeah. And it really kind of makes you think about the limitations of traditional education,
Yeah.
especially in a place like Macomb,
Right.
that's so resistant to change.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So,
And Scout's innocent observations just kind of
yeah.
expose the absurdity
Yeah.
of some of the town's
Mhm.
deeply held beliefs.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we have Jem, Scout's older brother,
Yeah.
who's starting to see the world through a different lens,
He's kind of straddling that line
Yeah.
between childhood and adolescence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to figure it all out.
Right.
Yeah.
He's seeing the complexities
Yeah.
of the adult world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's kind of like
Yeah.
embodying that disillusionment that comes with growing up.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
He's grappling with those
Yeah.
really tough questions about, fairness and justice.
Right. Especially as he's witnessing
Yeah.
all the events surrounding the trial unfold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. And of course,
We can't forget Calpurnia.
we cannot forget
The
Calpurnia.
Finch family's rock.
Yeah.
She's much more than just a cook.
Oh, she's like the voice of wisdom
She's,
in the story.
Mhm.
The bridge between the black and white communities.
Yeah. And it's so telling that she's the one that taught her son Zebo to read.
Yes, using only the Bible.
hmm
It speaks volumes about her determination.
To empower her community, even amidst the realities of segregation.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's a powerful counterpoint
Mhm.
to the prevailing prejudices
Okay, so let's talk about,
of Macomb.
yeah,
Yeah.
the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Or rather,
Or the shadow
the shadow lurking in the corner.
lurking in the corner.
Boo Radley.
Boo Radley.
The town recluse.
Yes.
What is it about him
Okay.
that captures the children's imaginations?
Well, he represents the unknown,
Right.
right? And the unknown often breeds fear.
Yeah.
Think about all the rumors that swirl around.
Big
Dining on raw squirrels,
Oh, yeah.
bloodstained hands,
Mhm.
never seeing the light of day.
Right.
It's like a Southern Gothic tale
Yeah.
woven into the fabric of the story.
But a lot of those rumors seem to stem from Jem's imagination.
Overactive imagination.
Yeah.
It shows how quickly,
Right.
fear can morph into prejudice.
Yes.
How we fill in the blanks with our own
Yeah.
assumptions and anxieties.
Right. And it's those assumptions that the novel challenges us to confront.
Exactly.
But then there's the children's attempts to lure him out,
Right.
like the note on the fishing pole,
Okay.
the gifts in the knothole.
The soap dolls.
Yeah, the soap doll.
The spelling bee medal.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to piece together the puzzle of Boo Radley.
They are.
One little clue at a time.
Yeah.
It's almost endearing.
Yeah.
Their curiosity mixed with that healthy dose of fear.
Yeah.
Do you think on some level they crave a connection?
I think so.
A glimpse behind the curtain?
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe.
why is he like this?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's his story?
Or maybe it's their way of confronting their own fears.
Right.
Of trying to understand something that seems so different and therefore threatening.
Right. Yeah.
Either way, Boo's presence looms large, even in his absence.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the real turning point, I think, in the story is the trial of Tom Robinson.
Absolutely. Everything comes to a head.
It throws Macomb's deep-seated prejudices into sharp relief.
Yeah. Front and center.
What did you make of Atticus's decision to defend?
I mean, talk about courage.
Right.
He knows.
That's what he's in for.
Oh, he knows. He knows what he's getting into.
He's defending a black man accused of raping a white woman.
In the South.
In the South.
In the 1930s.
During this time.
I mean.
He knows the backlash is going to be huge.
Oh, he's going to be ostracized.
Yeah.
He's going to be, people are going to talk about him behind his back.
Threaten his family. Yeah. But he refuses to compromise his principles.
I mean, it's a pivotal moment that reveals his unwavering commitment to justice.
Yeah.
He knows that Tom is innocent.
Right.
And despite all of that, he's just like...
Yeah, he's like, I have to do this.
You got to do what's right.
This is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
That scene at the jailhouse...
Oh, my God.
When the lynch mob confronts Atticus...
Chilling.
So chill.
Gave me chills.
Yeah.
Just reading it.
It's terrifying the way Lee builds that tension.
Oh, yeah.
And then...
Masterfully.
Yeah. And then little Scout...
Little Scout.
Bless her heart.
Bless her heart.
Unknowingly diffuses the situation.
She
doesn't know what's going on.
Doesn't realize the gravity of the situation.
And it's such a powerful reminder of innocence.
Yes.
That sometimes can cut through hatred and violence.
It's a moment of grace amidst all that darkness.
Yeah.
But it's fleeting.
Yeah.
I mean, that
doesn't last.
It doesn't last.
Yeah.
No.
The trial itself is just a stark portrayal of the Jim Crow South's legal system.
Oh, yeah.
You see that prejudice.
A system that is rigged against black people.
It's everywhere in the trial.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't escape it.
You see it in the way that the evidence is presented.
Yeah.
You see it in the way that the witnesses are treated.
Yeah.
You see it in just the whole atmosphere of the courtroom.
Yeah. And the Yules.
Oh, you
become the embodiment of Macomb's worst impulses.
I know, they're just...
Their poverty and their ingrained hatred.
Yeah.
You know?
They represent like the underbelly of Macomb.
Right.
You know, the
ugliness.
The ugliness that's just below the surface.
And even though Atticus dismantles their testimony, you know,
he reveals the truth.
The truth of Maella's abuse and Tom's innocence.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
The jury's verdict is a foregone conclusion.
It's heartbreaking because it reminds you that truth doesn't always prevail.
Right.
Especially when it clashes with deeply held prejudices.
Yeah.
Like, it makes you question, what does justice even mean?
In a society where racial bias is so pervasive.
I was also struck by the way that Lee uses the children's experiences to kind of parallel the trial.
Yeah.
You know, their visit to Calpurnia's church. First purchase.
Yeah.
It's such a stark contrast to their own church.
Absolutely.
It's a visual representation of the segregation that permeates Macomb.
Yeah. And it's a reminder of the systemic inequalities that Black communities face.
Yeah. And then we have Aunt Alexandra's arrival.
Oh, Aunt Alexandra.
With her strict social hierarchy.
Oh, yeah.
Her insistence on upholding Macomb's traditional ways.
She's the old guard.
He is.
Clinging to a way of life.
Yeah.
That is built on prejudice.
Yes.
And exclusion.
And even her comment about the Cunninghams not being our kind of folks.
I know.
Such a subtle but powerful indictment of the social divisions that define Macomb.
And it's telling that Scout, with her childlike innocence, doesn't understand these divisions.
No, she doesn't.
You know, she judges people based on their character, not their social standing or their race.
Yeah, she doesn't see color.
Right.
It's almost as if Lee is using Scout's perspective to challenge
us
as the reader.
Yeah, to confront our own biases. You know, look in the mirror and say, hey, are we really any different?
And then there's this recurring motif of the Mockingbird.
Ah, yes, the Mockingbird.
You know, Atticus tells the children, it's a sin to kill a mockingbird.
Famous line.
Yeah. And then Miss Maudie.
Oh, Miss Maudie, love her.
The voice of reason.
Yes.
In Macomb.
Amidst all
the gossip.
The whispers.
Explains that mockingbirds don't harm anyone. They only sing their beautiful songs.
That's all they do.
So how does that connect to the larger themes of the novel?
Well, I think the Mockingbird represents innocence.
Okay.
Purity. Those who were vulnerable.
Right.
And unjustly persecuted.
Yeah.
You know, characters like Tom Robinson and Boo Radley are essentially mockingbirds.
They're the mockingbirds?
They are the mockingbirds.
Yeah.
You know, they're harmless individuals who were targeted and judged.
Right.
Based on prejudice and fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a haunting metaphor.
It is.
And it makes you think about all the mockingbirds in our world.
In the real world.
Yeah.
Right.
Those who are marginalized and silenced by societal biases.
It's a timeless message.
Yeah.
That resonates even today.
What did you think about Atticus putting a Cunningham on the jury?
Oh, that was interesting.
I know.
Yeah.
It seemed like such a risky move.
Risky move.
Yeah.
Considering.
Yeah, they were part of the mob.
Part of the mob that threatened him.
That threatened him at the jailhouse.
I was a little confused by that at first, too.
Me, too.
But I think ultimately it shows Atticus's faith in humanity.
Yes.
You know, he sees the good in people.
He does.
Even those who might seem misguided or prejudiced.
Like, he believes that there's still good in them.
Yes.
You know?
He's not giving up on them.
Yeah, and he's not just trying to win the case.
Well,
he's trying to appeal to their sense of justice.
Yeah.
He's trying to plant a seed of doubt.
Plant a seed.
In their minds.
A little seed of doubt.
It's a long shot.
Yeah.
But it really speaks volumes about his character and his belief in the power of reason.
To overcome prejudice.
Yes.
It almost worked.
I know he believes that if there had been one more person on that jury with a similar perspective as the Cunningham, Tom might have been acquitted.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Sobering thought.
It is.
Yeah.
It highlights the power of individual conscience.
Yeah.
But also underscores about how deeply ingrained societal prejudices are.
It can be so hard to break free from that.
And then Jem's reaction.
Oh, Jem breaks my heart every time.
The verdict is just gut-wrenching.
He's experiencing that loss of innocence. That realization that the world doesn't always operate on the principles of fairness and equality.
Right.
It's a painful lesson.
It is.
But it shapes his character.
And Scout, throughout all of this, is absorbing everything.
She's like a sponge.
She is.
Soaking up the complexities of Maycomb's social fabric.
Yeah.
But she's also a catalyst for change.
Yeah.
Her innocent questions.
Yeah.
Her refusal to conform
to
societal expectations. They challenge the adults around her.
They do.
They force them to confront their own hypocrisies.
It's like she's holding up a mirror to Maycomb.
Yeah.
Reflecting all his flaws.
Its flaws and its potential for redemption.
Right. Even though the trial is over, the story takes another dark turn.
Oh, yeah.
It does.
Bob Ewell does not just accept defeat.
No, she does not.
No, his hatred just kind of festers.
Yeah.
And it becomes a palpable threat.
Yeah.
I mean, he represents that dark undercurrent of Maycomb.
Right.
The violence that simmers beneath the surface of civility.
And that violence erupts on Halloween night.
Yes, it does.
With the attack on Jem and Scout.
One of the most terrifying scenes in the book.
Oh, it's so terrifying.
Lee is so good at using darkness and ambiguity to create suspense. We're right there with Scout.
Yeah.
Her vision is limited by that ham costume.
Yeah.
Struggling to make sense of the chaos.
Yes, and we know something terrible is happening.
We know it.
But the details are shrouded in shadow.
Yeah.
And then out of the darkness
emerges Boo Radley.
It's almost surreal.
It is.
The way he steps into the role of protector.
It's the culmination of all those whispers, all those rumors, all the attempts by the children to unravel the mystery of Boo Radley. Yeah. He transforms from this figure of fear into a symbol of
heroism.
Unexpected heroism.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in that moment, he shatters all those preconceived notions.
All the prejudices.
Yeah, all those prejudices that have surrounded him. He becomes simply a man who acts with courage and compassion.
Yes.
But then the story takes another twist.
Another twist.
Hectate.
Oh, hectate.
The sheriff insists that Bob Ewell fell on his own knife. And Atticus, who is a man who lives by the truth, is torn.
Yeah.
He wants to protect Jem.
Yeah.
But he also believes in upholding the law.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
It's a complex moral dilemma.
It is.
Hectate is prioritizing compassion over the letter of the law.
Right.
He knows that exposing Boo, forcing him into the spotlight of a trial, would do more harm than good.
Yes.
He knows that Maycomb might not be ready to accept Boo as a hero.
Yeah.
That their prejudices might still outweigh the truth.
So it's a decision made to protect Boo's innocence, to shield him from a system that might not judge him fairly.
Exactly.
And Atticus eventually comes to terms with this.
He does.
He recognizes that sometimes justice isn't black and white.
Right.
That there are situations where protecting the vulnerable takes precedence over the strict adherence to the law.
Yeah, sometimes you have to bend the rules a little bit.
Yeah.
For the greater good.
And Scout, in her own way, comes to understand this too.
Yeah.
That final scene, when she walks Boo home, stands on his porch, seeing the world from his perspective.
So powerful.
Is just so incredibly moving.
It's beautiful.
It is.
A moment of empathy.
Yes.
And understanding.
It shows Scout's growth.
Yeah.
Her ability to see beyond the surface, to recognize the humanity in someone so different from herself.
It's like she's finally stepping into Atticus's shoes a little bit.
Yes.
Seeing the world through his eyes.
And the ending with Scout reflecting on Boo's life and how he's always been watching over them in his own quiet way.
Yeah.
It brings a sense of closure to the story.
It does.
It's heartwarming and a little bittersweet.
It is.
Yeah.
It reminds us that there's often more to people than meets the eye.
Yes.
That sometimes the most unassuming individuals possess these hidden depths of kindness and courage.
Well, this has been an incredible journey.
It has.
Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into To Kill a Mockingbird.
It's been a pleasure.
Such a good book.
It is a timeless classic.
It is.
That continues to challenge and inspire us to remind us of the importance of empathy,
yes,
justice, and the power of individual conscience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As you reflect on this story, think about how the events in Maycomb resonate with our world today.
Yes.
How can we apply the lessons of To Kill a Mockingbird to our own lives?
That's the question.
To our own communities?
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.